I was standing in line at a coffee shop when it happened. My card got declined for a $3 iced coffee. Embarrassed, I stepped aside and opened my banking app. I had $12 left until payday. That's when I opened TikTok to distract myself and saw someone showing off their new $900 blender. The caption read, "Self-care is everything." That hit me hard. Not because I wanted the blender, but because I realized I had been spending like someone I'm not. Trying to keep up. Ordering food 5 nights a week. Buying treats that never actually made me feel better. I wasn't broke because of bad luck. I was broke because I was living above my means. That moment changed everything. I decided to do the opposite of what I saw online. I wanted to live smarter, not flashier. That's how I started saving money, one small, honest step at a time. The silent pressure to overspend. These days, it feels like everyone is spending money, even if they don't have it. On TikTok and Instagram, you see people flying first class, buying $80 skincare sets, or redoing their apartments every season. It looks normal. It looks easy, but it's not real for most of us. Recently, prices are higher than ever. Everything costs more. But instead of slowing down, we're trying to keep up. It's not always about showing off. Sometimes, it's just wanting to feel included. No one wants to be the friend who always says no to dinner, or the one who still uses the same phone from 2018. A recent survey from LendingTree showed that 64% of millennials admitted to spending money just to fit in. That pressure is quiet, but heavy. You don't even notice it until your credit card is maxed out. That was me. I wasn't spending on luxury, just little things, $10 here, $30 there. But it added up fast. And the worst part? I thought I needed to spend to feel successful. But the truth is, real peace came when I started spending less, not more. Living below my means didn't feel like missing out. It felt like finally breathing. Have you ever spent money just to feel included? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious how common this is. The first step, a lifestyle audit, using a digital mirror. I didn't start with a budget. I started with a story. One Sunday, I decided to look at my life like a documentary. I turned my phone into a digital mirror. For 1 week, I recorded everything, every purchase, every food order, every scroll through shopping apps. I kept voice notes about what I was feeling when I spent money. I wasn't judging myself. I just wanted to know the truth. At the end of the week, I sat down and watched the story of my week unfold. It was eye-opening. I realized I had ordered food 6 times, spent $45 on things I didn't need from late-night Amazon scrolling, and had a gym membership I hadn't used in 2 months. I was spending money out of boredom, stress, or habit, not because I needed anything. What surprised me most wasn't how much I was spending, it was how mindless it had become. A financial psychologist once said, "We spend emotionally, not logically." That hit me. I didn't need a new budgeting app. I needed to understand why I was spending in the first place. This lifestyle audit helped me see patterns I couldn't unsee. It wasn't about guilt. It was about getting honest. If you want to start saving, don't just look at numbers. Look at your habits. Look at your daily story. Because when you change the story, you change the outcome. That was the first real step towards saving my first $5,000. Number 2, the anti-budget budget. How I simplified everything. I used to think budgeting meant tracking every single dollar. I tried apps, spreadsheets, even notebooks, but I always gave up. It felt like a chore. Then I tried something different. I call it the anti-budget budget. It's simple, flexible, and it actually works. Instead of tracking every expense, I created spending zones, like a capsule wardrobe, but for money. Each zone had a set limit. That was it. Once I hit the limit in a zone, I stopped spending in that area for the month. No guilt, no stress. To make it easier, I used a money app. It showed me how close I was to each zone limit and gave me little reminders, kind of like a smart money buddy. What I loved most was that it gave me freedom. I could still enjoy life, just with better balance. I didn't feel trapped like I did with other budgets. This method helped me stay consistent, especially during busy weeks. It made saving automatic because I finally had a system that fit me, not the other way around. Number 3, renting differently. Rent was my biggest expense, and it was eating up almost half my paycheck. I lived alone, And while it felt nice, it wasn't smart. So I looked for a new way to live. That's when I found co-living. Instead of renting a full apartment, I moved into a modern co-living space. I had my own bedroom and bathroom, but I shared the kitchen, living room, and work area with a few other people. The building also had Wi-Fi, cleaning services, a gym, and even free coffee. It sounds fancy, but it actually saved me 30% compared to my old rent. And I didn't have to buy furniture or pay extra for utilities. Everything was included. Co-living is becoming popular in big cities like New York, Austin, and London, especially for young professionals and remote workers. It's not just cheaper, it's also more social. I met people who were also trying to save, build careers, and live smarter. At first, I worried about privacy, but it turned out to be one of the best choices I made. I had support, I had fun, and I finally had money left over at the end of the month. Living differently helped me save differently. Number 4. Grocery glitch. How I halved my food costs with AI tools. Food used to be my biggest, invisible expense. I wasn't eating out every night, but between quick takeout, snacks, and grocery trips with no plan, I was spending over $400 a month. Then I found a smarter way with AI. I started using tools like ChatGPT and Mealboard to plan my meals for the week. I'd ask, can you make me a $30 meal plan with easy recipes? And it worked like magic. I got a full list of simple meals, a grocery list, and tips on how to prep ahead. I also created theme weeks like Pasta Week, Rice Bowl Week, or Soup Week. It made shopping faster, cheaper, and less stressful. To save even more, I used apps like Honey for online grocery discounts and Upside for cashback at local stores. The biggest change? I stopped wasting food and stopped asking, what should I eat? Every day. I cut my food spending in half, saving over $200 a month, without eating boring meals or skipping what I love. It wasn't about cooking more. It was about using smarter tools to make life easier. This tiny tech shift made a huge difference in my savings. Here's something I didn't know before. Spending gives us dopamine, the feel-good chemical in our brain. That's why shopping online feels exciting, even if we don't need anything. It becomes a habit. Stress, scroll, spend, repeat. To save money, I had to break that loop. But I didn't want to feel miserable doing it. So I found a new way to get that same happy feeling without spending. I created a digital folder called my Feel Good file. Inside, I saved photos of my dream home, screenshots of my future goals, quotes that inspired me, and even bank screenshots when I hit a new savings milestone. Every time I felt the urge to shop online, I opened that folder instead. I also made a rule. Every week I didn't order food delivery or buy random stuff. I gave myself a $10 reward to add to a fun fund, guilt-free money I could use later for something big or meaningful. Little by little, savings started to feel better than spending. Money became a tool, not a trap. And honestly, that felt better than any online purchase ever did. The unexpected wins. Freedom, not sacrifice. When I started living below my means, I thought I'd feel restricted, like I'd be missing out. But the truth was the opposite. I started sleeping better because I wasn't stressing about bills. My home felt calmer with less clutter. I had more energy and focus, and I felt more in control of my life. One month, I used saved-up credit card points to book a last-minute trip to visit a friend across the country. I didn't panic about money. I just packed and went. That freedom felt amazing. Saving money wasn't about saying no to everything. It was about saying yes to the things that truly mattered, without guilt, without debt. I thought I was just cutting back, but I ended up gaining way more: confidence, peace of mind, and real choices. If you've ever felt like your money disappears too fast, you're not alone. I used to feel that way too, like I was always behind, no matter how hard I worked. But things started to change when I stopped avoiding my habits and started paying attention. I didn't need a fancy budget or a huge income. I just needed to know where my money was going and why. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be honest and a little creative. I saved $5,000 by living differently. You can too. The real question is, what would you do with an extra $5,000 next year? What would your top 3 spending zones be? Drop them below. Want to learn how real people are building quiet wealth and achieving financial success? Then watch this video next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.